What's up, my beautiful people? Welcome back to another episode. I'm your host, Richie, here with Jesus.
Did you forget I muted myself?
Well, you were supposed to at least say hi.
Oh. Hi!
Oh, Jesus. Today we're going to be doing a culture video. We're going to be reacting to a video where one man faces off against 20 individuals within the manosphere. It's from the channel Jubilee. So we're going to be giving our reaction to this discussion. There's a couple different topics, so we're going to be going piece by piece. So make sure you check out the channel, check out the original video. The main person on that's going against the 20 individuals is Mark Manson, who's I've done videos on already. I'm not aware of any of the other individuals, so maybe they're influencers or known people, but I just happen to not know who they are. But I've given my opinion on the manosphere slash red pill community slash whatever else. And so has Jesus and Ian on this channel. But we're going to try to be as open minded as possible. But I did check out the entire of this video, so I can say that there are some stuff. I would say majority of the stuff I think we can all get on the same page about. There's some stuff that I don't agree with, and some stuff that I will be pointing out as the discussion goes. So, with that being said, let's get right into it.
My next surrounded claim is that a woman's body count doesn't matter. Hello.
Hi,
Nice to meet you.
nice to meet you. Okay, so personally, I do feel like a woman's body count does matter
Why is that?
because it's her value. I feel like if something's used, there's no value to it. It's just, I don't want to like be mean, but it's dirty.
Do you believe that women have value outside of their body and their sexuality?
Of course. Yeah, of course. A woman can be smart and still sleep with a bunch of men, but why not be the whole package? Respect your body. It's your temple. It's a part of who you are, so respect it.
Well, that's interesting, actually. Why do you think it's disrespectful for a woman to sleep with multiple men?
Because you're allowing different energies onto you.
What if they're in committed, loving relationships? What if it's been like a long series of 2-3 year relationships over 10, 15 years?
Well, then you wouldn't be dating a bunch of people. You wouldn't be sleeping with a bunch of people if you're committed. So
But you would have a high body count, right?
to me, I feel like a high body count is realistically maybe over 4 or 5. So when I think high body count, I'm thinking you're sleeping around, you're having one night stands. I respect it. You know, that's where agree to disagree comes into play.
Sure.
But me personally, it's self control. Be mentally strong enough to say no. Be mentally strong enough to stick to one person. Yeah.
That's a totally valid preference. My argument is that a body count it's just one piece of data, and I think it's a pretty arbitrary piece of data because people change. They have complicated life stories. Maybe you're a party girl in your 20s, and then you settle down and get serious, in your late 20s. Maybe you've gone through a bunch of shit, had a hard upbringing. So it's you have to address the individual in front of you, not just the number. Do you disagree with that?
That's a good opinion, but I stand firm on mine. Nobody should all have a piece of you. I wouldn't want somebody to hear, yeah, I had your girl. Yeah,
Okay,
I
we
got,
gotta- We got to pause there. You've been voted out by the majority.
So far, I think she's kind of been the weakest one. I'm not gonna lie, but I do think that she made some few good points. Okay, maybe just one. um, Again, going back to the value thing that I touched on in a couple clips ago. Why do we put our self value onto stupid shit like this, man? Fine, in a relationship, maybe it'll matter how many people you slept with. Outside of that, does anybody really care? When they're burying you or they're burning your ashes or however you're gonna go out of this world, do you really think it's really gonna matter how many people you slept with, how many people you smashed, how many people you, well, you get the point. Like, do you really think this all is gonna matter at the end? No. Now, she touched on like things about like energy, and I completely agree on that. As somebody who is still spiritual, not religious, I do believe that every time you, well, anytime, any interaction that you have with somebody, right? You make a spiritual connection with somebody with their energy, and if you know their energy attaches themselves to you, I do believe that you have to be careful with whose energy you're allowing to come into your energy field, right? Not to sound all woo woo and all that, right? But I do think that is something that's real. That might be honestly the only point that she made that I agree with. Um, I don't know her spiritual or faith or religious background, but I'm going to make an assumption that maybe she's a Christian or at least religious. And when I was in that world, one thing that I did love was grace, was mercy, right? That when you turn your life to God, no matter how you lived your entire life, that he's going to accept you, he's going to forgive you, he's going to love you, he's going to cleanse you, all that, right? That's one thing that I loved in my time because shit, I have a not that it matters. Pretty big body count. But in my past, because that's what I thought high status, high value man was supposed to be. And that one thing that's one of the things that I took away from my time in my faith journey was that grace, right? But unfortunately, another thing that I took away was, you have different people within Christianity or within religion who believe different things, or they believe that you can only obtain grace or deserve grace depending on like certain things. Whatever. So, but let's assume that she is a religious Christian person, right? So you're telling me a female's value goes down even if she's not sleeping around anymore, if like what Mark was saying, right? Turned her life around, made some bad choices in her past, but is no longer living like that. You're telling me that her value is at the dirt because of it? Like it, going to using like psychology, right? Where it's again, these things do not matter. These are labels that society puts on us. I'm not saying that they shouldn't matter and you should just be sleeping around with anybody and everybody. No, that's not what I'm saying. But our self-worth shouldn't be connected or attached to how many people we have slept with, how many relationships we've been with, how many relationship, dating, or sex experiences we have had. None of it. Our self-worth does not, it shouldn't be defined by the exterior world. And that's why I have a big problem with these type of like arguments. Um, and she said, like it's her opinion, which she's entitled to, and she'll say, I'll respect. Like if somebody has lived like that, okay, good. And I said this earlier, so I gotta, practice what I preach. I gotta stand by what I said. If that's how an individual thinks, and that's what they want in a relationship, they have every right to. So I think if she really does, practice what she preaches, if that's exactly how she lives, right? That where she sees somebody and she's like, ugh, even if it's wrong to you, as long as she's not out here, like actually attacking somebody, or if she's not, bothering anybody, then let her be. Let her think the way that she wants to think. If that's how she wants to structure her relationships or the individuals that she's attracted to, then let her be. Let them be. Right? Um, but yeah, I'm completely against this whole notion of like, depending on how many people you've been with, especially for women, because women, it's kind of like, you know, even one of the dudes said earlier, like, it's when you're the one getting dicked, it makes it dirtier than you being the one dicking around, right? Um, I just completely am against that notion of like a woman's body count. It defines her self worth as a person, right? You can have again, to wrap up, you can have the opinion of that's not the type of people I would be with, right? Or maybe even if they haven't changed and that's who they are, sure. Maybe it's just case by case. Maybe the person did change. And you have, she's at a different place in life and you have chemistry, you have connection, your principles, your values, all that aligns. Would you give up a genuine connection with someone? Like one of the dudes said at the beginning, it's so hard for us men right now today to find someone to date like that. Would you be willing to give that up because of somebody's past that they're no longer, that living that type of lifestyle? I'm curious. Leave it in the comment section.